Hey everybody, welcome back to my channel. This is the second episode of my tutorial series Your Sound Font, where I'm sharing my take on editing sound fonts using David Trepani's Polyphony sound font editor with you. Before heading on to the instruments tab, I gotta confess I spaced on a couple of important tools last time. In my first episode, I got a little carried away playing with my big old stash of samples and forgot to show you how you would import your samples to your sound font. I blame it on my overactive nerd brain now, but while I was rambling about supported file formats, I did a teeny tiny sneak peek into the sample import menu, but to show which formats are allowed inside and move on. And that was it. Even at the editing phase, I forgot to add a couple more keyframes and a time remap to at least show you that option clearly enough to that particular point. I suppose my head was in need of a clean boot, given that it was past midnight and it was obvious thanks to my feminine sounding voice right there. Anyway, you can import a sample by going through this waveform icon, or you can simply drag and drop your selected samples from anywhere, any folder, into the samples section. Only WAV and FLAC files are permitted inside, but as I haven't had that much exposure to FLAC files, I'd recommend just using WAV format. Second thing is the WAV export option. Although in many cases and in many scenes in the previous episode, I was actually using it to get my samples into a better shape. So I take them out and load them on, you know what I'm saying, Audacity. This option simply does what the name implies, unless you have some pesky virus card or something that prohibits programs from exporting files to certain file paths. The exported samples can be in mono or stereo depending on the link state. If it's mono, you'll get mono. If it's stereo or linked, you'll get stereo. Simple as that. By exporting, you're not getting the very original sample you've put into the sound font editor in case if you have performed equalizations, trim into loop, and linking with another samples. Plus, no matter how far insane your custom links are, the exported sample would be a stereo mashup, or what would I call a stereophonic mishap, where your now linked samples would be present at the set channels accordingly. If you somehow feel that I'm mad at how these channel links behave, that's because accidentally I had linked a vocal effects sample with a guitar fret noise which happened to be present in my capital nylon string guitar patch. While shooting my first episode, I was noticing something going off with the waveforms, and I shrugged that off as some glitch in the software itself, until I exported that random sample to hear the fret noise on my left and that stupid vocal effect on the right. The footage you have just seen so far is a recreation of my mistake.
One more thing. If you haven't created any instrument yet, but you have only recorded your samples and set their loop points and root keys, remove unused elements option at the general header is a great way to instantly destroy years and years of your commitment on harvesting your acoustic signature.
And now, welcome to the Instruments tab. At the click on the tab, by the way, this whole story on the left side is called the tree according to Polyphone's online manual. So at the click on the tab, you can see the huge overview of current instruments. At the last time I told you, I find this overview particularly useful on finding unused elements that I no longer find useful. If we create an instrument using the speaker icon at the top, we are prompted to
give it a name.
Okay, so now having created a fresh new instrument, we have landed on some empty blank space. But don't worry, this is our instrument editor, and it's our job to orchestrate this table with necessary parameter values. On the horizontal axis, we have nothing but a column named global. As you can see, we haven't linked a sample to this instrument yet. To link a sample, search for what you want from the samples list, right click it, select bind to, and select the desired instrument from the instrument list. Even though this little window is inconvenient as it doesn't have a search box, you can try quickly type in the first letters of your instrument to pop right up. So good luck on that. Or if you have named both the instrument and the samples in roughly the same name, then you are free to simply search using that search box below, select, drag, and drop the samples. Of course, sampling an actual instrument means that you would not stop by recording just one sample of a random note played in a random single intensity. If you do so, brace yourself to play the most artificial and obnoxious rendition of your instrument using single sample beta. I'm sorry. From the top to the bottom, we have a lot of fields, and it's time to figure these out one by one. The key range dictates where on the keyboard are we placing the selected sample. This range can be a single key, a region, or the entire keyboard. And you are free to have any number of overlapping samples and push your synthesizer to its polyphonic limits, or even your ears to the threshold of pain. The key range is set by key numbers, and if you're using the virtual keyboard in 128 key size, you can have the clearest highlight on your coverage. The lowest note is 0 and it's a rather inaudible C0, and the highest note is 127 being a G10. Every single C note is a multiple of 12. You might wanna yeet your phone and read the therapist after hearing what I'm about to say next, but if you want the concert pitch or 440 Hz to be a landmark on this keyboard, just remember the cheeky number 69. Well, instruments are not only melodic, but also we have percussions and other sound effects specially assorted as a separate kit. We have drum kits that has kicks, snares, toms, cymbals, beltries, whistles, congas, timbales, and many more. Sound effect kits with car accidents, doors, raining, thunder, screams, birds, laughs, standing ovations, catastrophic explosions, helicopters, even extraterrestrial means of transportation. In that case, every single key houses a different sample. So the key range for each sample is a single number, which is that only key. To make a good drum set or a sound effect kit, I recommend you to go through a standard map like this or this. Use the map of your choice. Even you can use both of them. Meet me on the next episode to know how. Roland GS brings a basic sound effect map like this. Velocity range determines how hard should you hit a note to play the selected sample. This may seem rather pointless if you're just having only one sample per note, and if so, you're free to simply leave this field empty. Besides, the harder or faster you hit a key, the greater the velocity, and basically the louder or sharper you'd hear your note. But let's say that you have gathered natural dynamics by recording a single note playing in different distinct intensities like this. That's when velocity ranges or layers come out useful. If you're using velocity layered samples, that's one of the scenarios where you overlap multiple samples in a given key range. You can have a tweakable visual representation of both key ranges and velocity ranges by going through this double-headed arrow icon. I'm not a big fan of this view because I struggle to prevent accidental blanks or overlaps caused by foul movements on my mouse or touchpad, but it's pretty nice to visualize a thing you otherwise take hours to test. In attenuation, we lower the volume of our samples in decibels. Other soundphone editors may use different units for attenuation. Anyway, a positive value in this field means a reduction. We can even use this to amplify an instrument by placing a negative value, but that trick would only work under the upcoming presets tab and not in here. Pan would move your sample along the audible plane from left to right. The leftmost position is -50 and the rightmost is +50. But I'd recommend staying between -30 and +30 or leaving this field empty if possible. True stereo samples and maybe even link samples would automatically be panned to -50 and +50. These specified pan values might take away the ability of appropriately responding to pan messages, i.e. MIDI CC number 10, since they're already panned to a fixed position by your sound font. So if your samples are fully panned, you might barely notice a custom pan position or variation, or unfortunately, no change at all. For an example, here I'm comparing two distorted guitar presets from two different sound fonts. The one on the left, Just D4 or Tyros 4 by MPJ Factory, has true stereo samples, and the one on the right, Corium Revision A by someone called OpenWorld.kb, has mono samples on the distorted guitar. So let's load each of these into the soundphone player, play a chord, then fully pan that to the right. Please note that both reverb and chorus effects are reduced to 0 here. Do not record originally mono signals in stereo at any cost. If you do so, then you're gonna waste storage space and your precious time. Plus, it's gonna hide custom pan variations present in any MIDI file. So if you're using stereo samples, make sure that the left half is at least slightly different from the right in terms of ambience and maybe harmonics. Make sure to steer clear from timing mismatches and phase mismatches. Not every listener is comfortable with them. In loop playback, you have three options to choose graphically: no loop, continuous loop, and what I would call runoff for convenience. If you leave this empty, that equates to a no loop condition noted by this symbol where the thick line goes straight. Except by leaving it empty, you save space to specify more parameters. Other than that, almost all melodic instruments would use continuous loop where the sample would approach the loop from the beginning and keeps playing within the loop points until its volume envelope collapses to zero. That's what's been symbolized by the thick line following a circle. Well, kind of. Runoff loop, or according to the manual, loop to end, is a rare occurrence where the sample approaches the loop start and cycles within the loop points just as long as you hold the note. Upon release, the loop is abandoned and the sample proceeds to its remaining length. In this mode though, you must have a shorter loop duration to make it happen seamlessly. And to hear the runoff, i.e. the sample reaching its true endpoint, you must set a longer release time. We have already set the root keys for our samples, and that is what being shown in the sample root key field in grayed out italic letters. You're free to change the root key anywhere, but if you fall back to the original root key, leave the root key field empty to not add up to the count of parameters. Below that, you have a coarse tuning and fine tuning field. Semitone tuning is completely equivalent to changing the root key, except here you're dealing with tone intervals rather than key numbers. When it comes to melodic instruments, if you change both the root key and the semitone tuning, that's gonna be a redundant task. Let's say that you have set your tunings and root notes all wrong at the sample step, and you just got the correct pitch by fiddling with these parameters. Then you're gonna need to repeat this same set of values in more instruments that uses the sample later on. Then, before it's too late, copy the root key and tuning to where your sample is located in the samples tree and erase those repetitive instances of semitone and sense tuning values from the binded instruments. As a rule of thumb, a key is one semitone higher than its previous key. The default value for scale tuning is 100. It's like a percentage where 100 means that each key is different from its closest neighbor by a complete semitone. If you change it to 50, then the difference between keys would decrease to half a semitone. You can do whatever to this parameter if your current instrument is a sound effect or a percussion instrument. The famous SGM 2.01 soundpoint uses a 0% scale tuning in its drum sets, so there is nothing to worry about wrongly pitched drums or cymbals, since 0% scale tuning means that there is no pitch difference between the keys and the sample is not being pitch shifted with reference to its current position on the keyboard. The filter cutoff is a low-pass filter we can raise to well over 19 kHz, and we can set the filter resonance by decibels. You can have the full bandwidth of the sample when this field is empty. You can add some color to the filter or emphasize your filter more with filter resonance, but too much of filter resonance will hurt your ears, so be careful while trialing that. Probably you might not want to exceed 30 decibels of filter resonance. The following bunch of parameters stand for the volume envelope, and it's a fully fledged AHDSR envelope. This AHDSR acronym stands for 5 phases: attack, hold, decay, sustain, and release. In case if you're feeling left out with this strange word envelope, envelope stands for a pattern of volume filtering or pitch alterations through time. So for a moment, bid farewell to the prehistoric paperfold thing used to mail postcards back then. Hence we now have emails or WhatsApp, Microsoft Teams, anyone? Instant messaging, web forums, Reddit, you name it. For starters, sustain is a reduced state of volume. In this case, if we set the sustain level to say 14 dB, the volume of our sample would get 14 decibels lower while we press and hold the key. 144 decibels mean pure silence. You can set a value between 0 to 144 as you wish. Sustain is the only variable that has to deal with the loudness or intensity at a particular stage, and in the rest of our components we're about to play with time. Attack takes place as the synth receives a note on event or as we hit a key. This is a sort of quick fade in, and we can set how long or short should it be. In the attack period, the sample would fade into its full intensity regardless of the sustain value. For instance, a saxophone would show a shorter attack as the player blows into it, whereas a common synth pad or some bowed glass would spend a longer attack time. Basses, guitars, pianos, drums, and a lot of others don't have an attack time. But if your samples are introducing some popping noise at their starting point, make sure to set at least a single millisecond of attack time. We can set a delay to the attack, obviously, for the whole envelope from the field above. Hold comes after the attack. This period of time maintains the full intensity of our sample. With the end of the hold period, the envelope proceeds to the decay stage. Decay pushes the volume back down to the previously discussed sustain level, and again we are allowed to set how long that stage should take by this field. Not only that, but also we can set the instrument to automatically vary the hold and decay timing with respect to the key position. Let's say that we set a decay time of 10 seconds and set this key to volume envelope decay to 100. And by that we would obtain a flat 10-second decay time only at key number 60. If we play key number 72, which is 1 octave higher, then the decay time will be halved to 5 seconds. At key number 84, the decay time will be quartered to 2.5 seconds. In other words, key to envelope hold and key to envelope decay is like the scale tuning for the hold and decay times. Of course, practical instruments don't offer the same decay time in every pitch. A grand piano would give a deep, winding drone in the lowest note, but only make a short and tight sting in its highest note. After these 3 stages are completed, the sample would play staying in the sustain volume as long as we keep holding on to the note. As we let go of the note or release the key, we enter the last stage of our envelope, release. This finalizes our AHDSR volume envelope by reducing the volume further until no sound is heard. Some plucked instruments, bells, and several drums have a longer release time, or in terms of actual physics, decay time. This icon takes you to a graphical representation of your volume envelope. Namely, it's the envelope editor, and it shows how the volume would rise, fall, settle, and fade out through time according to how you set the aforementioned values. Plus the lower section of it lets you fine-tune each parameter. In live playback or sequencing, MIDI continuous control or CC number 72 lets you vary the release time, and CC number 73 is here for varying the attack time. I was a frequent user of just those 2 knobs until yesterday, where I found out that in Bass MIDI driver you could also vary the decay time with CC number 75. So far we have learned about taking full control of the loudness of a given sample through time with AHDSR volume envelope. Below that we can vary the pitch and filtering of our sample, just like how we varied the volume. Attack, hold, decay, sustain percentage, and release. We can set both how high or low the pitch should go and how brighter or darker should it get in cents. For example, you can do a bass drop using a sine wave by placing a big negative value at mod envelope pitch, and you can make a riser effect out of a noise wave by placing a big positive value at mod envelope filter. Please note that the filter envelope is heavily influenced by the main filter cutoff value and filter resonance, and in some cases you might need to lower the filter cutoff to hear the filter envelope, as in the classic synth-bass 1 patch from GM Capital Tones. If we set the hold or decay time to change with the note position, then the time allocated to our decay phase would get deflected like this, regardless of being the modulation envelope or volume envelope. Both of these envelopes will be unaffected by the modulation wheel, but what the modulation wheel does control is the depth of the LFO, or the unidentified flying object. Just kidding, LFO stands for low frequency oscillator. An envelope is a single mountain-like cycle that begins when we hit a note and ends when we let go of it. Unlike those, LFOs are repetitive. An LFO would rapidly raise and lower the pitch or volume to mimic a vibrato or a tremolo. If you don't know what a tremolo is, try singing to a slowly moving table fan to experience your voice being tremoloed live. On the other hand, vibrato would be something like Serge Tankian and Spasm Activity, or Whitney Houston ensuring that she will always love you, or Priya Surya Sena being reluctant to go abroad, or some very random meme by slapping a voice changer, an excessive amount of twirling, spherizing and turbulent displays. There is nothing much to do on the LFO section except setting a delay to it and its depth in terms of pitch, filter and volume. Other than that, you have an extra vibrato section. So you can do a separate pitch alteration outside of the LFO. You can set the depth of it and a delay to it, and that's it. In real time, this vibrato cannot be manipulated using the modulation wheel. Instead, you will have to use MIDI continuous control number 76, 77 and 78. CC number 76 controls the rate or frequency of both modulation and vibrato. CC 77 controls only the depth of vibrato, while modulation wheel or CC number 1 controls just the depth of modulation. CC number 78 sets the delay to vibrato. My apologies for the awkward pronunciation of
vibrato.
In one of my previous videos, I have done an in-depth explanation of the purpose of exclusive class values, and it's gonna be a bit of a story. However, this is commonly used in hi-hats and triangles inside drum kits, basically wherever we need to mute a note using another note. For example, let's take the venerable hi-hat. We play this in 3 ways: closed, open, and pedal engage. As you can see, each stage has different tonalities and decay times. The open state is longer with some little taste of ringing, while the closed state is short and tight. When we maneuver the pedal, that sound is also short but a tiny bit heavier. However, a drum set doesn't have 3 separate hi-hats fixed in these 3 positions, and a player can spice up the beat by playing that one hi-hat creatively using a stick and the pedal. So each state is being somehow ended or muted by what's coming next. Particularly, the open hi-hat sound is choked by the pedal state, or usually before playing a closed note. In the early days, synthesizers were choking previously active samples with new coming samples due to the low space of polyphony, just 16 or 8 or 4, or in the worst case only one note like a PC speaker. But music usually involves multiple instruments and a plenty of notes to be played together. This is polyphony. So the hardware development progressed to allow more and more notes to be played simultaneously. The current version of Bass MIDI driver can play up to 100,000 notes. Since we have 128 notes each in 16 different channels, and with the assumption of you are using a non-multi-sampled sound font, 2048 notes of polyphony is enough. A multi-sampled preset is such a preset that has more than one sample to be played in the same velocity and key range. And even though polyphony is expressed in notes, from a synthesizer's perspective, it's actually the number of samples that can be played at once. If one of your notes is a single mono sample, it takes only 1 space from polyphony. A stereo sample takes 2 spaces of polyphony. You can layer up 3 mono samples on top of each other to see one note taking 3 spaces of polyphony, and so on. Microsoft GS Wavetable Soundset works like a champ in such a tight space of 16 notes, but a Rachno sound font cannot hold it together sometimes in the space of say 32 notes of polyphony. This is for your to-do list. Try lowering the polyphony to 4 or 6 notes, load a full-blown stereo sound font and play some punchy MIDI. You can hear fragments of stereo samples in just left or just right. Little did I know I was trading away unobstructed polyphony for clarity and loudness back then. But I digress. By the way, I don't mean any beef towards Maxim Abbey, the creator of Arachno sound font. I really appreciate the hard work he had put in it, and in my point of view, he is a senior in this subject. What I was trying to say is, even though we didn't want the sound of MIDI to be choppy back then, that imperfection of limited polyphony suits perfectly for some few instruments, like the hi-hat. Now back to the point. An exclusive class is a custom group of notes. A sound font can contain a maximum number of 127 exclusive classes. We can assign multiple notes to a single group by placing the same number under them. In the hi-hat's case within a drum instrument, we put a random number, say 1, under every sample present at key number 42, 44, and 46. Don't worry if your hi-hats are stereo samples, all of the samples within a single key is preserved intact, unless your synth's polyphony is low AF. The monophonic behavior of one of these groups or exclusive classes kicks in only when we play another note. In this case, playing the open hi-hat note at 46 first, and then pedal note on 44 or closed note on 42. If you also want to mute the triangle, put a different number, say 2, under closed and open triangles present at key number 80 and 81. so that you can just mute the triangle without causing any harm to the hi-hats. The funny thing is, you can mute a note by itself. Check this out. Next, we can tweak the strength of chorus and reverb. I don't usually exceed 50% unless it's a sound effect or a percussion that really needs it. With fixed key, you can kind of improvise what Matthias Kranz has done to one of his pianos. This basically tunes the selected samples to a key, but unlike root key, this will tune the whole key range of a given sample to one note. You can disable the velocity sensitivity of a given sample and lock it to one specific velocity value by this field. The next grayed out italic field shows the length of your audio file in samples. That whole lore of PCM, what to do. Sample start offset and end offset is here to perform minuscule delays, simulate fine trimmings, and even dodge out loops. Back then, I found this useful on eliminating a comb filter-like effect between two stereo samples that stood for my standard snare drum. Again, these units are PCM sample points. I'm sorry if I'm making up technical terms. With loop start and end offset, you can change the loop points of a sample when needed. Back then, I was duplicating a sample to do just that. And that was the faulty car start effect, where I needed to have the engine running as well as just the starter motor running like on a low fuel condition. But instead, with just two parameters, I can now save space. SGM V2.01 uses these parameters a lot, where the correct loop points are set from the instrument editors and not in the sample section. Just don't do that. Set your loop points correctly at the sample section in the first place. Save these offset values if you have further artistic or wacky purposes like what I just mentioned, the faulty car start. Important note, whenever possible, replace equal local parameters with a single global parameter to preserve space. Now we can move to the lower section that is saying no modulators. I was planning to cover modulators in a different episode, but as I don't know much about it, I think I can skim through them like this. A modulator is a link between two unrelated parameters. By default, the note on velocity not only affects the volume of the sample, but also a little bit of filtering. A softer tone is considerably a little more damp than its louder version. Especially real pianos are such mellow when we are playing them quietly. That's what the default modulator setting is tweaking. Apparently, different versions of the SoundFont file format have had different values for the default filter modulation, which is linked to the note on velocity. The two versions of the SoundFont file we can see at that option mainly differs by the presence or absence of 24-bit samples. Somehow the file format version affects the way how modulators work. Polyphon's online manual says, quote, "When you play an instrument, a modulator listens to one or two MIDI signals and modify one of the parameters in the table according to the mathematical rule configured. The output of a modulator can also be used as an input to another modulator. This function appears in version 2.04 of the SF2 format and may not be supported by some synthesizers." End quote. From what I can say, there will be scenarios where you want to say change the amount of filtering in a more intense manner with reference to the note on velocity like in some synth lead from legacy Yamaha XG synthesizers, or reduce the amount of reverb and chorus for quieter notes, or slightly change the pitch to mimic a drum, or we might want to pan the lower notes towards left and the higher ones towards right to sprinkle the taste of wideness. I'm running out of words, but the limit here is your imagination. Modulators provide the environment to express any of your creative ideas like those. I don't know why I was reluctant to use those, but they're pretty rad. Alrighty, finally we've made it through the instrument editor window, but let me remind you to still not touch the remove unused elements dialog. As long as an instrument remains unbound to a preset, they and the samples within are considered unused, as well as samples that are not binded to any instrument. Before winding up, I want to thank you so much for staying tuned till this very end. I hope you learned something valuable today. Good news, the next episode is going to be shorter, but bad news, I'm not exactly sure. In fact, the presets tab is the step that is about to finalize your SoundFont. So with the hope of coming back with the third and final episode of this series, let's call this a day. See you soon at the presets tab. This is Tari314 signing out.